to the first episode of the Starterpack. I feel like I'm not saying it right. Starterpack Podcast. I am joined by my other host. Okay, maybe he's a little bit under the weather. You're supposed to introduce yourself.
I thought you were gonna say my name beforehand.
I told you. Okay, you know what? All right. This is Jesse, also known online as JesseTheLamest, or Jesse the Lost Islands guy, or Jesse the Mr. Driller speedrunner. Followed by that, we have our guest, Shaggy.
Yep. Or Shaggy Armstrong on YouTube.
Yep. Kind of a small content creator, but within the community, if you're a little bit more in depth with it and you know the Laura Boombringer or whatever, you'll know he's got a pretty interesting backstory that he's going to be explaining here on the podcast. He's going to just kind of share his experience with the games. Me and Jesse are going to share ours, and it's going to be pretty much a chill time. So, this is just kind of a video where you can just listen to it in the background, fall asleep, do whatever. Yeah. So, I guess the first thing that we gotta say or just ask, how did you get into Skylanders?
So for me, it was back in 2011 when they dropped the first trailer for Spyro's Adventure. Me and my brother, we were watching something on Disney XD, or the other. I can't remember what the other program was.
There's Cartoon Network.
But Cartoon Network, and we were watching some cartoon, and then when the commercials come on, we would usually go outside and play or whatever. But then we actually saw the commercial, and we thought it looked really cool, so we went and told my mom, and she's been a huge Spyro fan for a while, and so she was on board, and then she told Dad about it, and he said that if we were good enough, by the end of the year, at Christmas, he would get it. And Christmas rolls around, and he delivered. He got a Spyro's Adventure, and it was honestly the most fun that we ever had with video games, because we didn't play it all that much. All we had was a Wii system that had New Super Mario Brothers.
It was a peak game, though.
So,
and then, yeah. Jesse, what about you? Even though I already know this, tell it to the audience.
Okay, so before I actually started playing the Skylanders games, Before I started playing the Skylanders games, I knew about their existence for years, because I remember seeing commercials for them when I was younger, but I never took interest into it. But whenever I became friends with Shojiki in 2022, I eventually, after some time of us being friends in 2023, he introduced me to the series itself and playing the games.
Which was about a year ago, in 20 days.
Yup. So it's been almost a year since I actually played my first Skylanders game, which was Spyro's Adventure.
Yep, and I brought it over on the 360 as well as every single character and magic item, and I was like, all right, you gonna play this and you're gonna like it. And
I loved it.
Here we are today.
I can just imagine Jesse getting flashbanged by Skylanders information.
I brought to his house this gray backpack just full of Skylanders from Spyro's Adventure. I had everybody except Camo, because at the time I had lost mine. Recently, I actually have 3 camos now, so 4 technically. So I don't have to worry about that now. But I brought over the whole thing. Actually, I let him keep. Or not keep forever, obviously, but I let him borrow the whole set, and he played through all of Spyro's Adventure on the PC port, which he had found online, and yeah. Anything you
Great
wanted
memories
to add?
for that.
Well, what about you?
Me?
Really sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't tell me about your origin.
Well, back in my day, So how it started was the first trailer, which I think came out in July of 2011 or somewhere around that time. Pretty much the same thing. Disney XD, you know, Cartoon Network, whatever. My mom was again a big fan of Spyro. She loved the PlayStation 1 games. She was heavy into like the Legend games, which I think are dog butt, but that's besides the point. Um, she ended up getting a couple of figures for us when it came out, and I remember we had went to like I don't know exactly what the convention was. I don't remember if it was E3 or not, but we had went to a presentation of the first game, and that was right around September October time, and we loved it. Like me and my brother, although we were very young, we were jumping up and down for the game. You know, my mom and dad were pretty excited for it. So October rolled around and we were like struggling a little bit financially. So we only were able to get a couple of the figures. I don't remember exactly what figures those were. All I know it was like obviously the first wave. So it was like Eruptor, like Drobot, you know, Stealth Elf or something. And then when Christmas rolled around, we had a little bit more to play with, like a little bit more money. So that's when I got the Spyro's Adventure Starter Pack. And that was for the Xbox 360. And we loved it. Like me and my brother, you know, we played the game every single day. He didn't even go to school. Like we were so young, we weren't even going into school yet. So like we played this every single day. Like we played it till like 10 o'clock at night. Like we played this as much as we could. And our parents saw how much fun we were having with it. They eventually got into it and they bought a few figures for themselves, which ultimately ended up in my collection. Wonder how that happened. So before Giants released, we had every single character for Spyro's Adventure. We had the legendaries, we had the Red Drill Sergeant, we had all the base figures, we had all the adventure packs, we had literally like everything you could easily find, even Whamshell, which at the time was like one of the rarest figures. But yeah, that was like my first thing with Skylanders. Obviously, like when it came into Giants and stuff, we were still into it. Unfortunately, we stopped getting the games around Imaginators. I think we didn't even get Imaginators when it first released. I bought it myself, I think the beginning of the pandemic, and I didn't even get any of the senseis. I just had all my base figures, and it was a pain in the ass to try and play Imaginators with no senseis and Imaginators. But yeah.
I didn't actually know. After 2012 Giants came out, I didn't actually know any of the any other games came out. Because whenever we saw ads for them, we were so young that we thought it was just for the original game. So that's why I didn't buy it. That's why I didn't get any of the other games. And plus, we hadn't even finished the first and second one. Because my dad told us that if we wanted the next game, we had to completely finish both games.
Was it that much of a struggle?
No, it was just me and my brother. We're so young that we didn't really focus on anything, and we're just playing the game to play it. So,
Honestly, you're real for that. So, unfortunately, Jesse over here didn't have the peak childhood that we did. Obviously, he had some pretty good games, but he didn't have the cool plastic figure game.
yeah, he's not a
No.
veteran like us.
Yeah. He's not
I
a
wish,
little
but-
old man like us. Go get me a bear, son. Nah.
Back
But,
in my day, I remember it was $4 for one Skylander.
you know, back
You could
then,
get it anywhere.
like, literally, I remember when, like, the single packs for Spyro's Adventure were, like, $8. And when Imaginators came out, each figure was, like, $20. It was crazy. I think,
Yeah.
the fact that characters got so expensive was, like, the reason why my parents just stopped buying it for us. Not only that, but at the time, like, my parents were trying to figure out a divorce. You know, we had a lot of personal stuff going on. And actually, on that topic, I'm kind of convinced Skylanders Giants was like the reason why my parents didn't divorce quick enough. That game, Giants specifically, brought me, my brother, like my mom, my dad, everybody to the couch. Like we would all sit around for like there was a couple of days, like mostly in the weekend, where we would just sit on the couch all day playing through battle mode, all the arena battles. We'd get the adventure packs, would play through with every single character we could. We didn't get any of the reposes for Giants, mainly because my parents were like, "Oh, well, we already have the figure, so why get another one?" Little did they know the Giants ones had a funny wow pow. But I mean, couldn't complain as I was like a toddler still. I was like what, 4, 3, something like that. But we did get every single giant. We got every single like unique character. We had a lot of fun with giants. And Swap Force came around, and we weren't as big into it. I mean, me and my brother still loved it, but as I said, the figures just got expensive and expensive and expensive. So we didn't get many swappers, and we didn't really get many, new unique characters. And same was said for Trap Team, but at that point it was even less. We got the starter pack figures, a few others like Torch. We got some of the commons like Funny Bone, you know, maybe a Trap Master here and there like legendary Bushwhack. And then Superchargers, we had the starter pack figures and Big Bubble Pop Fizz, and that was it. And then Imaginators was absolutely nothing.
Nice.
So, I mean, here I am now, obviously. I don't have just those few characters. I have bookshelves of them, mainly because I'm just so good with money. I like to irresponsibly spend. But, yeah. It's kind of
Not me spending $300.
Nah, like I feel like I'm allowed to spend irresponsibly as I'm still a child. So I'm able to just kind of irresponsibly go off on this and just kind of buy figures whenever, right now I'm like 50, like less than 50 away from completing the entirety of my collection. So and
Wow.
even after that, there's still some to spend. Like, there's the variants, the chase variants. I could get every single version of the game, all the 3DS games, all the starter packs, all the posters, all the unique merchandise. Because trust me, they came out with everything for this game. From curtains, pillowcases, trading cards, dog tags, soap dispensers, loofahs, speakers. The list just goes on and on and on and on. And there's somebody in the community who is trying to get it all, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, there's just so much with Skylanders.
It's
really hard.
crazy. Yeah.
But for me, I kind of I just wanted I just recently got the entire Gen 1 and 2 Skylander reposes so that I could have my collection, but I don't think I'm gonna get any others.
And why is that?
Just because it is a lot of money, and right now I'm trying to save it for college and other things. So also
Yeah.
insurance.
This is true. But funny plastic game.
Yes. Yes.
Will you at some point, let's say hypothetically you won the lottery, would you get them?
If I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be
Right there
signs.
with you.
There would be signs.
Oh yeah, no, I right there with you. If I won the lottery, nobody would know except for some people might get suspicions because all of a sudden my collection is just doubled, tripled in size. So, what about you, Jesse? How is your collecting adventure going?
It's going good. I've been kind of at a halt lately. I haven't been buying as much. But I have a good amount of the Giant stuff, not all of it. I don't have a full collection of any of the games, but I got some interesting stuff. I have Japanese Wii U SSA, which I'm happy about. That was a cool thing to get.
Of course, I got
I
one.
have a decent number of the swappers. I have a couple creation crystals, although they're like the starter ones.
Yeah, aren't
I don't
they
know,
all
it's
just the fire creation crystal?
Yeah. I have some I have some of the tops cards.
Oh yeah, we
Like
did a video on that one.
yeah. I have some of the Mega Block stuff. A little bit of it you actually gave me some too, so.
Yeah, because I used to get some of that back in the day. I have a whole story on that I could go off about.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
But yeah.
you know, I feel like you're my son in a way. It's like, oh my gosh, they grow up so fast. You know, here you were, you know, just a little bit less than a year ago, and you had nothing. And oh man, Gramps is so proud of you. You got a little bit of collection going.
Yeah. I don't know how much more I'm gonna collect, but I have some interesting things.
Honestly, I would say go with the Shaggy route. Get the full set of like SSA and Giants and just kind of retire there. Cuz after that everything just gets so expensive. Like Swap Force, you've got one or two in there that are pretty pricey. You know, maybe 3. And then Trap Team, it's just like every other character's like 25 plus. And then
Yeah,
there's Imagine
Boom
Wars.
warns me on a regular about
Yeah.
bad trap team.
Sorry, that's delayed.
Yeah, Trap Team is ridiculous. As somebody who's trying to collect them all, I've got 11 left, I think. But right now, I'm still missing Breeze, Spotlight, and Blackout, which are the big ones that are the priciest. And other than that, I'm just missing all like the cores and whatever. Got all the Trap Masters already. I'm not collecting traps right now because I just don't see that as much of a need to right now, considering I have like all of the element except Dark. I'll figure that out another time. Yeah. So, aside from collecting, do we have, like, alright, so Shaggy, this is kind of an interesting one for you because you've only played the first two. But, Jesse, do you have a favorite game?
My favorite game, it's probably going to be Superchargers. It is one of the best looking games in the series. Honestly, by itself, with its story, it would have been a great game to end the series off. To
I've
be
got to
fair,
agree with you there, honestly. And here's Shaggy. Which of the two that you have played is your favorite?
Oh, definitely SSA. Spice Adventure
Wow.
will, in my opinion, will never be topped.
Wow.
First in the series, and it was such a wild card that when it came out, it was so good.
Honestly, like the concept of Toys to Life wasn't really even just. I mean, sure, it was around, but it wasn't as big as it was with Skylanders. And back in the day, Nintendo or Activision Toys for Bob reached out to Nintendo saying, "Hey, you want this to be a Wii exclusive?" And they said, "Nah, take your silly game somewhere else." I'm pretty sure they regretted that because shortly after Swap Force came out, they started coming out with amiibos and stuff. And those were clearly
Yeah.
trying to ride off the success of Skylanders. Same thing with Infinity and Dimensions. Like, everybody was just trying to get a piece of that pie, and Skylanders definitely did it the best.
Yeah. I'm gonna apologize. My the storm has just now gone over me, so my audio quality is gonna be pretty bad.
I can
Hopefully
kind
not,
of
but
hear it
it
when you
might be.
talk. I can kind of hear the tick, 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 but very, very faintly, so you don't have to worry.
Mm.
Trying to think of other things. So Superchargers is also one of my favorites. I don't. It's kind of hard to say which one is my favorite because I have a lot of nostalgia for SSA, Giants, and Swap Force. But Superchargers is like, as Jesse said, one of the most graphically amazing games in the whole series. Story is got to be the best in the whole series. Where a lot of people say it's its downfall is the forced vehicle sections, which, to be fair, it was only the land section. And also, I thought the land section, or just the vehicle sections, were really cool and well put together. I loved the music. Oh my days, bar. You know, the unique characters, although there weren't many, there were some really, really good ones. So I definitely have nothing to complain about with Superchargers. It was the perfect, like, length for a game, especially one like Skylanders. Had perfect characters, good story. Even like there were some even like really emotional scenes, like with Glumshanks. I won't try and go into too much spoilers, but Glumshanks has a emotional moment. And I mean, even with Chaos, like he has a lot of character development in that game, and it's just insane compared to the other ones. So I'm right there with Jesse. I'm probably gonna have to say that Superchargers, although controversial, is definitely probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Yeah.
Have you played any of the 3DS games, Shaggy?
Skylanders? No. I had a 3DS. My mom had a 3DS, but no, I never played them
Oh,
because
wow, you gotta
we.
get into them.
Mm,
It's a,
yeah.
it's a crazy difference between SSA and Giants like console to where it is at
Mm-hmm.
3DS, because although they have the same characters and roughly the same NPCs, they're like completely different games. Like you can jump in them, double
Oh.
jump even. It goes pretty
Oh.
crazy. Um, but that is obviously something you'll have to get into in your own time. I won't like blabber on about 3DS games. So
Yeah.
do we have a favorite character?
Like,
By far, Stealth Elf. Stealth Elf. Stealth Elf.
All right, Jesse.
so with me, it's kind of stuck between either Pop Fizz and Hot Dog.
All
So
right.
it's kind of stuck between those two for me.
Yeah, and I'm currently, I'm still trying to find my favorite, and I've got a lot more say in who my favorite is because I have like 90% of them. It really just it changes depending on what game. Obviously, for SSA, we gotta go with either Trigger Happy, Spyro, Bash, Chop Chop. I've got a couple of favorites from that game, but I think my all-time favorite's gotta be Trigger Happy. For Giants, I've gotta say my favorites gotta be like Pop Viz or Tree Rex. Swap Force, my favorite Scratch by far. For Trap Team, my favorite's gotta be Snapshot or Bop. They are amazing characters. Wallop's really good too. I think he might be on that list. For Superchargers, by far Spitfire. He is the best starter pack character in any of the games. And Imaginators, probably Chain Reaction. And I might have a little bit of bias because he's like one of the only ones that I have. But from all the ones that I've played, and I've played all of them, he's like one of my favorites. But if I did have to pick an all-time favorite, it's kind of tough, and I know I didn't mention this one at all, but it's probably going to be Splat, because I love art, and that goat likes art too. And I'm autistic, and she's got to be autistic too, so it just kind of clicks in that way.
Yeah.
So, the next topic we're going to talk about is soundtrack. Whether you know the names of the levels or the soundtracks or not. And we're probably only going to touch on Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, and Giants because those are the only ones that you have played. So, with that being said, what are your guys' favorite soundtracks of those two games?
For me, it's got to be in SSA. It's got to be the life or the tree level. Can't remember what the
Treetop
level
Terrace?
is. Yeah, that's got to be my favorite in SSA. And then in Skylanders Giants, it's the robot one, Drill
Drill X.
Factory. Yep,
Drill X's Big Rig. And then for
he was
you,
the best
Jesse.
rapper of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not really too sure as to what my favorite soundtrack is between the two. Both, I mean, Giants does reuse some quite. What didn't Giants reuse quite a bit of music from SSA?
Mainly in the gates and in the adventure packs, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, so I'm not even really sure, to be honest. As both feel about as good. So I don't really have a favorite out of the two.
That's boring. Anyways, my favorite from SSA has gotta be Dragon's Peak. That adventure pack goes so hard, and Hans Zimmer cooked with the orchestral soundtrack, as well as Lorne Balfe. Like, they both, like, they're like the dynamic duo of the music world. And I'm so glad that Hans Zimmer gave Skylanders the recognition it deserves, and making Dragon's Peak a part of the Kung Fu Panda 3 soundtrack. I shit you not, that's a real thing. And it's not the only time Skylanders has had a connection to Kung Fu Panda. It's weird that it's happened twice. For Giants, my favorite soundtrack has gotta be Willikin Village. I don't know what about it, but it just makes you being there feel important. That soundtrack gives you just like this sense of importantness and like heroism. I don't know. It just balances right on my brain. Wow, you guys are so quiet.
Because I forget I accidentally muted myself.
And you, Jesse, what do you have to say about my opinion? Am I stupid?
No, I was gonna imitate a Willikin.
A Willikin?
Yes,
A Willikin.
because you know how they're like, you like whatever. They
I must be out of the loop. I don't know. I don't even know what a Willikin is.
Oh, come on. You played Giant. That is like the only two games you played. You played Giants, and they are a big part of Giants, and you've never... Bro.
Blame
Get
it
out
on
of here.
HD
Out
and
of the
selective
recording booth. Alright, so the Wilkins were the, like, wooden puppet things in Giants.
Oh, okay. I remember them now. Those things used to scare the hell out of me and my brother. Like, we did not like that level whatsoever.
Oh, dude, that was my favorite. I loved the soundtrack for it, and I... Like, the level design, it was peak. The concept for it was amazing. And Chompy Mage at the very end was, just amazing. The entirety
Chompy
of
Mage
Giants
was
just amazing.
Chompy Mage was a peak boss battle.
Absolutely. I mean, it can't top Drill-X, I just gotta say.
Yeah.
Were you gonna add something?
I was just gonna ask, what's the hardest Skylanders figure it was to collect?
Back in the day?
Yeah, cause like for me, I got Whamshell like when SSA first came out, not a month after getting the starter pack, but the hardest one for me was Dino Rang. We could not find him for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Dino Rain?
Yeah. So for me, obviously it's got to be Whamshell. I remember how many times like me and my mom would just sit on the couch on her laptop scrolling the Skylanders website, GameStop.com, Walmart. We were looking for Whamshell, but he was always out of stock. Actually, I think it was pretty much only Walmart because I don't remember for sure. I think he was an exclusive to there. I don't remember. Anyways, like we were scavenging for that guy, and we were so close to just caving in and ordering it online. Like I remember she sat down with me and said, "Hey, we might not be able to get this one because he costs a lot." About a week later, we went to Walmart to go grocery shopping, and that's when me and my brother were like, "Hey, let's go to the toy aisle or the Skylander aisle, wherever that was." And we found him. We found a couple of them, so we ended up picking them up. And I mean, for SSA, that was the hardest one. I think for Giants, the hardest one we could find was Series 2 Drobot, but that was because my dad really liked Drobot, and he was just trying to find him everywhere, but everybody else liked Drobot too.
Favorite among the family, it seems.
Oh, yeah, Drobot was amazing. And for my dad, like, because he was also kind of big into Skylanders as well, Drobot and Crusher were his favorites. and I think he just like drove out because he was faster, and he just worked in both games. Moving on to the next topic. Shit might get depressing, but playing with siblings or family or friends. Shaggy, if you want to tell the tale, you're welcome to.
Yeah. As you guys know, I played with my brother SSA and Skylanders Giants when it first came out. We didn't play any of the other games because we just didn't know they came out. But after around 2015, there was a terrible accident, and my brother passed away. And after that point in time, it was just too hard to go back to Skylanders. I mean, we didn't even move the figures off of the shelves that we had, and we didn't even move them until we actually moved houses. But playing Skylanders, Giants, and SSA with my brother was something that can't be replicated. It was there's really no words for it. It was just happy. That's the best way I can describe it. Being happy. So.
Yeah. I also, back in the day, played with my brother. I can say he's not with me because he's not in my house, but not to the same extent as you. He's currently in a facility for something stupid that he did. But back in the day, we loved Skylanders. We played it, and that was like the most bonding we ever had, and that was like it was a shitty time in both of our lives, and that was just kind of our way of escaping. Like, I don't really understand how to describe it. It was a different experience, and playing with someone like that at that certain time, it was this magical feeling with this magical game, and like it was totally different, and I love that. And there, like you said, there's just no way to replicate that. Like, just coming home after school and just sitting down in front of the TV and just playing for however long. Like, it was crazy. We played through most of the games. We never finished Superchargers, and like the only time I actually beat Superchargers, like I beat it on my own, like after he had left, but the second time was with Jesse, and we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, that brotherly experience is just it's totally different, and it's so hard to describe. And that's why when Boombringer did that live stream dedicated to you and your brother, like, it obviously didn't hit me the same way as as hard as it did with you guys, but like it meant a lot to me as well, because I had those sorts of experiences, and it's just something that I don't think I can ever have back.
Yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest. I cried for a solid 30 minutes after the stream. I was so happy. The fact that Drobot was actually able to finish Skylanders Giants and able to kick Chaos's ass for one last time.
And he did it on Nightmare mode without all the heroics on a decent hat, and he did it like what, second try?
Yeah, second try. Technically his third try, but the second try he got soft locked.
He got soft locked a couple of times, and I thought that was just his spirit messing with us.
Yeah, that was totally just Rusty having some fun.
That's what I just chalked it up to. But that stream meant a lot, obviously, for you, and it meant a lot for me, and I'm sure so many other people in the community. But
yeah, I really hope so.
Yeah, it was a great stream. It was a great experience, and it was on my birthday too, so that was even funner.
Oh shoot, you didn't tell me that. Well,
I did tell you that. Birthday. I told everybody about that.
I'm sorry, I just don't listen sometimes.
How could you? Anyways, as for Jesse, you can share your experience with playing with family or friends.
I Okay, so since I never grew up with the series, I never played with any family members. I've only mainly played Skylanders with you, like whenever we're playing multiplayer, and it was very enjoyable. And being able to play and just playing Superchargers, like doing the story mode cooperatively, was very fun.
We played more than just Superchargers. We played through Imaginators together. We did a playthrough on that on the channel. That was complete dog ass. Don't play it on an emulator when you're playing Imaginators, or at least don't have your clock speed so damn high, because that was absolutely terrible. Anyways, I have like PTSD from that moment. But I remember like the first day I introduced you to it, we played SSA for a little bit. You played a little bit with your sister as well. It wasn't much, but
Yeah.
I mean, I never said anything about exclusively family, so I also have to talk about the times that me and you played. Obviously we played Superchargers together, and that playing through like some of those games with you, like actually got me kind of emotional because of how it brought me back to playing with my brother and with my parents, and it was just kind of that small taste of that brotherly love as we were talking about earlier. It was interesting, and I don't know how to describe all this in a way that kind of makes sense, but it was definitely really nice.
Before we continue, I just now remembered. So my about a couple years, so 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Mom and Dad decided that they were going to try for more kids, and so now I have four more siblings, and I love them to death. But the oldest is a kid named Calvin. I'm actually going to be introducing him here pretty soon to Skylanders. So
that is the best thing you could ever do for those kids. I will say, your parents did not cook with the name Calvin. I don't know a single Calvin that isn't a crackhead in the nicest way possible. I hope that your little brother isn't too much of a crackhead. Although I assume he is to a point.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, of course. But
huh? His name is Calvin, so that Dad can call him Kal-El.
All right.
Or Superman.
Oh yeah. That is something my dad would do too, because he is so into Superman and like DC and all that shit. So
yeah, Dad's a big comic nerd. So
yeah, my dad is too. That's actually kind of funny. Kind of on that topic, I introduced my 6-year-old cousin to Skylanders like when he first moved here back in like November. At first, he loved it. And then for some whatever reason, he's like, I hate it because the graphics are terrible and the physics are terrible. Which is really funny because at the time he played Minecraft and Roblox. Games that are both older than Skylanders, and they both don't even have physics at some times.
Yeah, he has nothing to stand on with that opinion.
Yeah,
Man,
no, he
not cultured.
He hated SSA and Giants, but once I introduced him to like Trap Team, that's when he got a little bit more interested in it. But he won't admit it. He won't be like, I had fun playing that with you. He'll only say, well, it's just because I have nothing to do. He has fun with Trap Team. I know he does.
He just doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah, there was one time he came up to my room and he's like, can we play the Skylander game where you can play as the villains? And I sat there with my arms crossed like, well. So I did play Trap Team with him for a little bit, but I will never forgive him for what he said about Spyro's Adventure and Giants. That's all I gotta say. So I will say, whenever you introduce your brother to Skylanders, make sure you do it in the right way, and that is tie him to a chair and force him to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I got a wiffle bat next to me. Like if you say anything wrong,
Electric
it's
fly swatter, that always works against him, I swear.
I could just imagine Shojiki with his cousin. You disrespect me. You disrespect my family.
Hey, the funny
I will
thing is,
never
I'm
forget
Italian.
this disrespect.
The funny thing is, and of course, all this is in game. Of course, we would never hurt children. All this is in GTA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in GTA, of course.
Yeah,
'Cause,
GTA, 100%.
Um.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a.
Please don't call CBS.
No. They have no reason to. It's in game. It's in game.
It is in game 100%.
In game, guys. So, the next topic is, I don't know because I didn't come here with a plan. What are your thoughts?
What's
on...
your
No, you continue.
what's your favorite element?
Magic, tech.
Magic? Yeah.
I personally enjoy the Dragon's Peak element, the sidekick element, the magic item element. Some of my favorites. Oh, the land vehicle element's also really cool too.
Oh my god.
What about you, Jesse?
It's probably tech, to be honest.
And Shaggy.
So for me, even though my favorite character is Stealth Elf, Water has got to be my favorite just because it looks really cool. And my brother's was Tech and Life.
Oh man, I am such a dark person for thinking of a dark joke. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. We are moving on. I am so close to saying something really dark, and I'm trying my hardest not to, even though I'm gonna get so canceled if I say something. Anyways, we are moving on. Yeah, that's cool. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yes, what are our thoughts on elements? Not elements. What the fuck am I... Bro, I'm so out of it. What are our thoughts on the variants? Chase and in-game variants.
Well,
Go ahead, Jesse.
okay. Well, in-game variants are fun, but chase variants are just they have no point in game. All they have is a special tag. That's literally it. And some like chase variants, didn't they come with like more? Weren't they like partially leveled up and they came with some money on the figure?
No.
I thought. Oh, I'm misremembering. Okay, well, yeah, chase variants are just for the collectors, mainly.
I'm a collector and I do not like chase variants because if I wanted a drill sergeant that was red, I could just go outside and spray paint him red. And then
But it's a clear translucent red.
Okay,
I am
so
so
I'll
sorry,
get some
guys.
resin.
Somebody is messing with my lights. I will be right back.
I'm just gonna drag his little character on the stream, like, off. Anyways. So, Jesse.
What?
You want to explain to the audience who we are as hosts, even though we're, like, 40 minutes in?
Yeah. Well, you explain yourself. I'll explain myself.
You explain yourself.
That's what I said. I said.
So explain yourself.
Oh my god. Okay, so what I do in the community is I'm more in the technical side of the community. I'm mostly active in the reverse engineering server on Discord, where we take a deeper dive into the games and just having a better understanding of how they work. And I feel like what really got me really into that community more was trying to get Lost Islands working on Android again, because no one had preserved it beforehand. So we thought it was just lost media. But then I somehow, after doing some digging and looking through the files, I was able to have an understanding of how the game loads files, and I found the URLs for where all the files that the game would download are hosted. They're still up. And I found that by browsing through some of the data inside of someone else's save file for Lost Islands. It was from an Apple iOS dump of the game. So I was able to look through that and I was able to figure it out. And the game works again on Android.
Yippee! So
that was like a big thing for me, and I'm really happy I was able to bring back some people's childhood with that, and I'm glad that people are happy that they're able to play it again on Android. At least on certain versions, but
So,
I'm
as
happy
the
about it.
Indian tech support man of the community, what are you working on right now? The one that you've been working on and refusing to record this podcast with because you were so focused on.
Trying to preserve portions of Supercharger's iOS,
Which version?
particularly the 32-bit version, because we got a hold of someone in the community who is willing to dump their files. And me and a couple other people have been helping them with that, and we've been making progress with it. But now we're just trying to figure out how to get the game to load the files.
Hmm.
But making progress. So I'm looking forward to it.
I have returned.
Yeah. Oh shit! I'm like moving the background because like on the stream or whatever, like on the screen, I like moved your character like off screen while you were gone because I thought it'd be funny, and I moved him back, so I like messed up the background a little bit. Anyways, we're good now. So we're doing introductions on who we are. You kind of already introduced or I kind of introduced you. You kind of introduced yourself. We're just kind of going more in depth into who we are in the community. You're welcome to join in. I'm going to introduce myself as a person. I'm Shojiki. It's not my real name. So if you want to blame my parents for giving me a bad name, don't, because it's not my real name. It's just the name that I've been going by for like 2 or 3 years now. It means honesty in Japanese, and it's something that I live my life by, despite making a lot of shit up. In a joking way, of course. But Jesse likes to not include that part when he's talking about me, so I figured I should include that. If I make shit up, I will. If I spread that misinformation, I will always correct myself.
Bro is pulling a Skylander Gamer TV.
We can't talk bad about him because I want to bring him on the show.
I don't even know who Skylander Gamer TV is.
He's a Skylander content creator who may or may not have spread a little bit of misinformation at one point. But yeah, we're not gonna get into that because, like I said, I want to bring him onto the show at one point and interrogate him for that. As we move on, I am again just some random content creator in the space. I've made a lot of friends here. I didn't make friends with Jesse just because of Skylanders. I've known him since we went to school. We did a lot of like tech oriented stuff. We had a couple of classes together, and we just kind of became friends there. What have I done in this community that is significant? I destroyed a tree rex in my backyard.
Justice for Tree Rex.
Oh my days, bro. I've introduced Jesse into Skylanders. That was cool. I'm friends with Boombringer, a couple other content creators. I do texture edits for some people, Shaggy being one of them. I do them for free because I'm a kind person, but I should really start charging people for it, even though I'm not. I'm a collector, a good collector. I like to preserve anything that nobody else doesn't have. For example, the mobile hot streak, there was little amounts of dumps of that online, so I thought I'd be the cool guy and preserve it myself, even though there was probably already something out there for that. I run a couple of Discord servers for speedrunning, different challenges like battle mode, also a piracy in-game, of course. Other than that, I'm just the random like kid in the community who knows a guy who knows a guy, I guess. This isn't really a dream job. I just do this because I like Skylanders and because I just like bringing people back to Skylanders, bringing them back to that simple time, and also because funnier numbers on my account means I get more respect from people at my school.
At your school.
Because
I literally got here a month ago.
yeah. um, Other than that, there's not really anything too significant about me. There's not like I'm not like too much of an interesting person. I make occasional like just random Skylander videos about like my collection or like what people think in the community, and I want to do more, but sometimes I just don't got the motivation to, as I am still going through school and it's kicking my ass. Other than that, there's not really much about me. I'm just some random NPC in the Skylander space.
Damn.
I know. It's a womp womp moment indeed.
Hmm.
A little bit.
Good introduction.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a depressing introduction, but it's kind of true. I destroyed a tree Rex in my backyard, and that's like the coolest thing I do.
Yes. Jesse, I think it's your turn.
No, Jesse.
I'm still thinking on what I'm gonna say.
No, you
oh,
gotta
Jesse
go
already
right
went.
now.
Oh, okay. Darn
Yeah,
it.
right on the spot.
I don't know. So I'm Shaggy Armstrong on Discord. And I believe it's Shaggy Armstrong on YouTube as well. For the longest time, I used to be called Bear. Because mom and dad always called me Big Bear. And then I just kind of grew out of Big Bear. So, other than that, like I said, when I interrupted Shojiki, I literally just got into the Skylanders community about a month ago, and I have to thank Boombringer again for actually getting me into it because he responded to my comment on his video, and that's where all of this started. So I'm super thankful for everybody that I've met in the Skylanders community, Shojiki, Jesse, Boombringer, everyone. You guys have been super, super nice. You have been, and have helped me play the games, relive my childhood memories, and it's been quite awesome. I'm trying to make videos for a couple different games. Right now it's Team Fortress 2 and Skylanders, but I'm not entirely sure what video formats are good with Skylanders, so I'm still trying to figure that out.
And of course, we are here to help.
Yeah.
So, if we have nothing else to add, I think that might be it.
Guess so.
Um,
I can't
Yes.
think of anything else to add on to it.
Hello?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I cut out.
All right. Are you okay?
Nope, the storm is kicking my ass.
Yeah, he's currently in the storm and he only has one med kit left, so chances are he won't make it out. But we'll pick up.
I
his
need the
music from-
evac!
We're talking about two different games right now.
Oh, wait, you mean the med pack from Fortnite?
Yes, that's what he's referring to.
I played Half-Life. I played Valve games, so that's where I get med pack
Honestly,
from.
yeah, same.
That's based.
Well, if
Oh.
we have nothing,
Before we do leave, I want to say that I have been playing. So even though I stopped playing Skylanders. I've never stopped playing Team Fortress 2 since I started back in 2012.
and this is where he shouts himself out.
Yep.
I mean, like, this is where he promotes himself. I'm just joking. I'll leave that in the description. So, if you enjoyed hearing us babble on for about an hour now, you can go check out Jesse in the link in the description. You can go you could go check out Shaggy in the link in the description, and obviously I'm here, so you can go ahead and subscribe to me. That'd be awesome. I plan to do more podcasts. We're planning to do one with Boombringer, which I know a lot of people are really hyped about because He's a pretty big person in the community, and I totally want to get everybody else on. You know, I want to get every single content creator I can find, even if I can't. If I swear, bro, this is like kind of a big maybe, but if I can, I would love to bring on Skylander boy and girl. It's pretty big, I know, but it's possible. And for now, that is going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Again, sorry for a little bit of a scuffed first episode, as this is the first time we're doing it. Have never even practiced an intro before, never any of that. We don't go through any sorts of routines. We just throw them into the recording booth, and we're just saying, all right, talk for an hour, and that's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for listening in, and if anybody else has anything to say, I think that's gonna be it.
No, I'm good.
All right.
All right.
See y'all later.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, y'all.